What's up, guys? This is Chris from Outlaw here, and today we've got something you guys have been asking for. I get a lot of requests for the P320, specifically the Wilson Combat P320. So here you go. I had Manning & Sons send me one down for review, so we have in front of us one of the coolest looking 320s I've ever seen. Obviously, this is a standard P320 with quite a few upgrades. Now, if you don't know anything about the P320, I'll tell you a few things. It has a 4.7-inch barrel. It's around 28 ounces overall weight. It is a full-size gun. A version of this, the M17 and M18, were also adopted into the U.S. military contract, making them very popular, making them very available, and actually running through and streamlining some of the issues. Some of the issues with the P320 include some drop firing issues that, in my opinion, happen because they don't have a trigger safety. That being said, it's a great gun overall. 99.999% of the time it works great, and that's why it's used in the military currently, and that's why it's used in law enforcement. Partly because of the cheap price, but mostly because of the modularity and availability and overall performance of the gun. The claim to fame of the P320, besides winning the military contract, is the fact that it has a firing control system inside it. You can actually purchase that without the gun and then just build the gun if you choose to. I do have a couple of versions like that. Or you can get yourself a full-size 320 with the fire control unit in it, and you can buy different grips and slides and things like that and change this out to essentially a different pistol if you choose to, without having to do extra paperwork, which is really nice for places like Massachusetts, Maryland, California, New York, that kind of thing. So that's really nice. This particular P320 is certainly not your standard. It comes with a whole bunch of upgrades, including the checkered X-Tac slide there on the top, so it's easier to press check. Comes with the highest sights I have ever freaking seen in my life. Those I definitely do not like. So if I was gonna get these, I would get those out of the way. People get so obsessed with co-witness sights on a red dot that they're willing to just completely clutter the red dot overall sight picture with these gigantic iron sights just in case something breaks. But meanwhile, they can't hit and or see anything because the iron sights take up the entire sight picture. That being said, these are optional. You can get whatever size you want. You don't have to order this with these sights. This is just how it came, so bear that in mind. But the sighting picture is pretty cool. It's got a red dot, or red fiber optic front with serrations and a blacked out rear with serrations, which I do really like, but I wish they were a tad lower. They're almost comically high. We're also going to be doing a review on this optic here that I got from Optics Planet. It is something that I don't even know what it's called, the Sowosa Raid. Something I've literally never heard of, and it is extremely cheap. But it is also RMR pattern, and this came with an RMR mount, so we are going to throw it on there and beat the crap out of it, and with any luck, it'll perform pretty decent. It seems to have a pretty good sight picture, but I'm a little concerned about overall durability. Now, some of the upgrades you're going to get on the old P320 from Wilson Combat is you're going to get a black DLC finish, which I think is extremely important because DLC finish, diamond-like coating, is one of the best coatings on the market. Why is that important? It'll keep your gun running longer, first off, because it'll help with lubricity, I suppose. But it also helps with cleaning the gun. It makes cleaning the gun a little bit easier, and it makes the overall elements stay out of the gun a little bit more. If you're gonna use it around salt water, things like that, it works really well.
Is lubricity a word?
Yeah, lubricity is a word. Okay. I'll give you some lubricity. You have no idea.
I knew that
I'll lube it right up. All right. It comes with the Wilson Combat optics cut, which we already talked about. It comes with the battle sights, which is the giant sights that I mentioned earlier. It comes with a new magazine release, new slide stop. Comes with a beveled magazine well, and then obviously a rail, as well as the upgraded trigger, which feels really nice. Now, the Wilson Combat is a custom shop, so if you order this from Manning & Sons, which I'd recommend because they're gonna be a lot faster, they have a lot of these in stock, you can get it any way you want, or you can get whatever he has available. With Wilson Combat, you can do the same thing. However, you're gonna be able to get it a little bit less if you go through somebody like Manning. That being said, let's go down to the range and shoot the gun. But as always, I want to mention the Patreon supporters. You guys paid for the ammo for this video, so I appreciate it. If you want to join up with the Patreon squad, all you have to do is go to the link in the description and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter, the YSS. And during these Thanksgiving days, you can give back by giving a little bit of money to those kids. They could really use your help provide them with a holiday that you guys are going to enjoy that they may not. There's a little low. Pretty on though. One thing I don't like about this is the same thing that I don't like about any of these optic styles like this. If you need a particular tool to zero this, fuck right off. Like, if I can't do this with a bullet, I don't want this thing. And maybe that's me just being practical, because my whole life I've lived in the country and it's not like you keep little Allen keys on you, and even if you did, it's not like you wouldn't lose them.
Or have the right one.
Right. That being said, this arguably, now I'm drooling all over myself, arguably is one of the best 320s I've ever shot. This has very little recoil. It's actually really nice.
Very nice.
No, no audible or tactile clicks on the red dot either, but you would expect that for an optic, you know, that's as cheap as this is. Threw that one myself. That's pretty close to on. Let's take a look at that top group. Still a little bit low. This is my group with the P320. And that's from the other day with the USP Expert. So you can see that even with a dot and a custom gun, I'm still not quite as good as I am with that HK. Take a look at that one. Not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
Now that I'm at the excuse cone, if you guys ever seen Nothing Fancy from old back in the day, but I did do a bunch of pull-ups and farmer's carries right before we did this, and you can attest to that.
And you carried a turkey to the smoker.
Well, that was easier than the other things, but yes, I did also do that. It's busy not malfunctioning, of course.
Uh-oh.
There's a failure to feed there. Oh, I like this. This handles as good as any 320 I've ever fired, for sure. As it should with the price tag of this. That's that 10-inch plate down there.
Nice.
See me beating that thing up? See me hitting that plate rack too? Now that I miss. We're out. But it's accurate, that's for sure. It should be, I suppose. Wilson Combat name on the side of it. Now, it's not as expensive as their 1911s for sure. If you're thinking it's gonna be $3 grand, it's not quite as bad. I think the base price on this is around 1,200 bucks, which is about double what a P320 is. But you get a lot of upgrades as well. But that's base price, you gotta understand. With a custom shop like Wilson Combat, it's gonna be more or less depending on what accessories you add to it. It's a tack driver, that's for sure.
Okay.
All right, so we are here at the 75-yard line with the Wilson Combat P320. And I gotta say, the recoil impulse on this is very nice. I think the aggressive grips that Wilson does stick in your hand so well. I've been told about this gun a few times, like if you don't like the 320, go to the Wilson Combat, it's the best version, yada yada yada. And sometimes you're on the fence about that stuff, but I gotta tell you, this one seems to be performing better than the one I built with like the performance slide and the fire control unit and all that stuff. I like this one better. I mean, all day long, 75 yards, well beyond the distance you would normally use a handgun. And even this little red dot here is performing pretty well. We haven't done any drop tests on it yet, but so far, as far as like a cheap optic, it's great. You wanna try it?
Yeah.
50 yards?
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
So we're at 50 yards with the old Wilson Combat P320 from Manning.
I'm not even warming up. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, first shot of the day, 50 yards. The ejection pattern on the gun's real nice too. You can't tell that without watching it. No lock back or what?
No.
Pull the slide back, make sure it's clear.
Yep.
You're clear?
Yep.
All right, what do you think? That was really impressive shooting. I'm really proud of you, by the way.
Well, thank you. I didn't even warm up. I'm kind of proud of myself, but I don't know if this gun was for me. I didn't love shooting it.
All right, so far, after action report on the Wilson Combat P320 is that it is certainly a P320. It has a lot of advantages compared to the stock P320, but just as my wife previously said, it does have a little bit more recoil than something like a Glock 34 or an M&P or something with a lower bore axis. Whether you like it or not, your bore axis is here, top of the slide's up here, you're gonna get this going on. And that's fine, I'm used to that, and I actually thought it was a lower recoiling P320 than any other ones I've shot. I mean, I thought for a 320, it shot really well. I felt like I shot it real fast. I felt like I shot it real accurate. I personally liked it. You didn't like it so much, but the accuracy was on par, no? I mean...
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But I think I can really feel that rocking motion.
Yeah.
And I got smaller hands, and my grip isn't as good as yours just because you have bigger hands and you're stronger than me.
A little bit of that too. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, good grief.
Where to go from there? The serrations worked really well. The sights were a fucking nightmare. I like an uncluttered sight picture, but that's because I have lots and lots of time behind a red dot. And co-witness sights are great for a cheap red dot like this because the likelihood of it going out is going to be more, and then you're going to need to use your iron sights. That being said, at the skill level that I am at, I'm not like amazing, but I'm not bad. I can shoot relatively well with a handgun, whether there's sights or not, so I prefer an uncluttered sight picture personally, but that takes a lot of reps. A lot of people need to use those iron sights to get a hold of that dot, and with a new platform, I completely understand that. So whether you want the tall sights or not, you can choose to have them or not. I don't like them. The red dot was nice, but again, we haven't done a durability test on it yet, which is what I feel like may separate that from things like the RMR or the Holosun 507, stuff like that. $1,200 for the gun, $1,400 for the gun, somewhere in there. I think it's a pretty good choice, especially if you like the 320. If you're interested in something a little lighter weight, but higher quality than something like a Legion, this has a little better trigger than the Legion. It's also lighter than the Legion, but it does have a little bit more recoil than the Legion because it is in fact lighter. The cool thing about it is you could buy this, you could take the fire control unit and awesome trigger out of it, and you could put it in the Legion grip if you wanted to, or you could leave it in this Wilson Combat P320 grip, which I believe is the best part of this gun. The slide serrations are okay. All the texturing is okay on the slide, stuff like that, but this grip is the real MVP, and I think you can buy this grip by itself. I like the 1911 perfect grip angle. I like the little hump here. I like the beveled magazine wall. That's great. I like the way they cut it under here, and I like the sun beam style texture that Wilson Combat is well known for. I'm used to that. I like that. I like the magazine release, and I like that it has a big cutout for the magazine release as well. If you had smaller hands, that would be a huge advantage to you. Overall, it's a high quality gun. Is it worth $1,400? That's entirely up to you and whether or not you want one. I personally really like it. I plan on shooting it against my custom P320 and seeing which one I like better, and the outcome of that will decide which one I keep. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters. Remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
You look like a russet neutral god.
Do I really?
Yes.
I was going for like the Carhartt King, you know? It's like Carhartt tan is what it is, you know?
It's working for you.
Fair enough. I've never worn it before.
You're sexy, Mr. Outlaw.
Well, maybe a few more people could drive by. All right, you ready?